Hello everyone, so this is my first YouTube video and I'm going to give a review on this, whether it's a good value of money or is it just a trash. Yeah, but I bought this in July for about 2000 rupees, and yes, I bought it with a case. Yeah, yeah, this is not actually the case prescribed for this particular model. It's actually one of this thing's competitors case, which I actually got it. But yeah, it fits really well with this. Yeah. So let's dive into the let's dive into the review of this. So first things, it will disappoint you with this retention here. Yeah. So it will come out so easily. So if you drop it like this with these two sitting in it, then it's going to be horrendous. And yeah, with this case on, you can literally you can uh, just you can make it scratch resistant. And yeah, this thing is, you know this thing has some literal matte finish over here, as you can see. So it's like without this case also, it can resist scratches up to some extent. And the next thing comes with the features or app support. Truly enough, app support is kind of like 2 out of 5 for if you would rate it, because like if you open the app, turn on feature A, then feature B would be disabled automatically. For example, this thing has spatial audio and this uh, Knowles equalizer or Knowles driver, which is the reason which I bought, and obviously as it disappointed me with. Actually, if you turn on this Knowles equalizer, spatial audio would be off, and if you turn on the app's built-in equalizer, everything else would be turned off. And if you turn on this adaptive EQ, everything would be turned off. You can't even turn on spatial audio. But when it comes to sound quality, it's good. It's nuts. And especially if you turn on this LDAC mode in your phone settings, in your Bluetooth settings, if you turn on the LDAC mode, it's even better. But those who are looking for this orchestral kind of music experience have to use equalizers like VLC or wavelet, I suppose. But yeah, I mostly listen to music composed by Hans Zimmer, A.R. Rahman, and all these people. Well, yes, with equalizers, this does a pretty good job. But app support, Realme. I am a user of Realme before shifting to this. I used Realme Buds Air 5 and Realme Buds Air 3S. Yeah, this Realme Buds Air 3S is 10mm driver. It has a 10mm driver, and so is this. But Realme Buds Air 5 is a bit more advanced. It has, I think, 12mm, I guess. So the audio quality of this thing, along with equalizer, is almost the same as that of the Realme counterparts. Like in there you don't have to use the equalizers, because in the app itself you have good options in there. Well, yes, sound quality doesn't disappoint. When it comes to microphone, yeah, this thing has just 4 mics, while the other two that I've used have 6. So it is a disappoint on paper. But one of my friends also used Realme Tech Life series buds. This 4 mic system does a fairly good job than the Realme 6 mic system, to be honest. Because you know, if you are traveling in Chennai metropolitan buses, those AI voices would be visible in this, and it would be visible in them better than this. And yes, some amount of background noise would also be visible, audible in both the things. And yes, this thing has something extra called AI ENX technology. I don't know what that means. But yeah, these mics, if there are 4, they are doing a pretty good job. And next comes, your audio support, and I'm like Bluetooth connectivity and Bluetooth connectivity. Yeah, this thing has something called Google Fast Pair, and it pairs almost instantly when you connect to your phone or tablet. But if you're using phones like the Nokia phone which I use, then it's nuts. It takes something like a minute to pair. So yeah, Nokia phones have older Bluetooth, right? So, but still, the audio quality you get on this from that phone, seriously, I didn't expect that kind of audio quality with this from that phone. And next comes battery. Realme has far less battery backup than both. Realme actually provides. When I used the Air 3S, it came around something like 3 to 4 hours of life without charging. But this thing comes easily 7 to 8 hours without even uh, continuously without using your case, which is almost as equal as most of the 10k budget AirPods, I guess. According to Apple, AirPods gives like somewhere around 8 hours of backup without charging, and so is this. But yeah, the major difference in Apple and this thing is obviously audio quality. But the major thing that is not in this, and which is a default feature of all Realmes, is something called ANC. If you ask me what ANC is, it is the surrounding noise that which the earbuds cancelled out before reaching your ears, and it helps you not to increase your volume for listening. This reduces the sound that is surrounding you, which helps in situations like if you're traveling a bus and everyone is punching horns left and right. That ANC there would do a better job. This thing has no ANC, but still it does a decent job in reducing surrounding noise. But yeah, you have to increase your volume a bit more to experience the minutest of sounds. And next, the features. First things, this thing has high-res audio with LDAC, and yeah, the bass is good, and with this and with this LDAC, your bass is even better. And if you have Android phone, in your developer options, if you turn on optimize to maximum audio quality, the sound experience is even good. Like, it's better than it's better than a Realme counterparts with some lesser bass. But if you use equalizers like VLC or Wavelet I think is not that good, but I used VLC. Seriously, it has done a good job. Like, it's almost as equal as Realme was air 5 in terms of sound quality with VLC. And I tried this, you know, yeah, the spatial audio in this thing is good. Like if you play uh, Mountains, that interstellar track, that cosmic clock sound would be playing left, right, somewhere or an environment like that would be distributed in various fields. That was that was actually something I didn't expect. And but if you turn on this noise equalizer, this thing will be off, and noise equalizer is like, you know, listening to a song at 10% volume when it is at 50%. I don't think noise equalizer is a good feature. I don't think it's a really good feature, though it has a very positive reviews. I mean, personally, if it is good or not, I didn't like that noise equalizer feature in this. But yeah, the spatial audio in this thing has done a really good job. That's what I would say. And towards the end, if you are, I would say this as a worthwhile product. And yeah, this case which I got is actually one of its competitors' models case. You know, the AirDope's 800, which has Dolby Atmos support, which you know, it's. I've read in the internet that it's not a good product to buy. But pretty much when sometimes this thing feels a bit buggy, the LDAC mode doesn't turn on automatically for sometimes. Rest of all, this thing is good, but if you are a person who wants that orchestral feel or that punchier bass and things, I recommend shifting to a Realme for for the cost of 2000 rupees. If you want a more balanced and quality kind of sound, you can use this. You can use this, but I don't not like Realme doesn't have good quality and all. If you want a more balanced sound, you can use this. And yes, Realme also with that bass note thing off. Yeah, so this is the end of the video. I hope you liked and enjoyed. And yes, I'm doing this without a script, so I'm pausing, stuttering, stammering. And I don't know how to broadcast the mic setup in the video itself, like how all the other YouTubers do. But I would rate this product a 4 out of 5. Thanks for watching.